The day it snowed in Ajegunle. Scene 1, the silence. Wilma Axis, Aj City. We hear an eerie silence. The camera pans across the usually bustling streets now covered in pristine snow. No honking, no shouting, just stillness. No one could have predicted the day Ajegunle woke up under a blanket of snow. Tony, a young man in his late 20s, wakes up to the silence. He stretches, then freezes when he notices the strange light filtering through his curtains. He pulls them back and gasps, "What in the world is this?" He was surprised to see snow everywhere. Scene 2, Snowfall and Strangeness. Tony steps outside. The snow crunches under his flip-flops. Neighbors shuffle past in makeshift winter gear. Ankara wrappers over sweaters, flip-flops with socks. Neighbor 1, eyes wide, "Na wow, snow for Ajegunle?" Neighbor 2, shrugs, "God don change weather pattern." Children build snowmen, their laughter rising into the cold air. Tony, what struck me most was the calm. Lagosians are known for their dramatic reactions, yet here we were, moving through the snow like we expected it. Scene 3, the boy. Ojo Road and Wilmer Road, usually chaotic, are empty and beautiful under the snow. Tony walks, marveling, then stops dead. Across the street stands a boy, maybe 10 years old, wearing a thin shirt, smiling in a way that sends a chill through Tony deeper than the cold. "Tony," softly, "who is that?" The boy's eyes twinkle with strange knowing. Scene 4, the storm. Tony paces unsettled. Tony, speaking to himself, "It's just snow. Weird but just snow, right?" The wind howls outside. Scene 5, 3 days of snow. The 3-day snowstorm. Cars lie abandoned. People wade through knee-deep snow. Street vendors light small fires for warmth. The mysterious boy appears and disappears in the crowd. Scene 6, a strange calm. The sun finally breaks through. Snow melts. Life returns. Horns blare. Street vendors yell. Afrobeat music blares from speakers. Ajegunle returned to its usual rhythm. But none of us would ever forget those 3 days. Scene 7, unanswered questions. Tony walks, relaxed, then freezes. Across the street, the boy stands, smiling. "Tony," whispers, "it wasn't just snow, was it?" The boy's smile widens. But on that fateful morning, I woke up to a winter wonderland. At first, I thought I was dreaming. But as I looked out the window, I saw Karopi, Kiki, Danfo, and BRT buses parked on the side of the road, covered in a thick layer of snow. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the soft crunch of snow underfoot. I quickly got dressed and ran outside to take in the surreal scene. The snow was knee-deep, and I had to wade through it to get to the main road. As I walked, I saw people bundled up in winter clothes, trying to make sense of the unexpected weather. But what struck me as odd was the complete lack of panic. Nigerians are known for their love of drama, but on that day, everyone seemed eerily calm. It was as if they had been expecting the snow all along. As I turned a corner, I saw a group of kids building a snowman. They were laughing and chatting, completely carefree. I watched them for a while, mesmerized by the scene. Suddenly, one of the kids looked up and caught my eye. He smiled, and I felt a shiver run down my spine. There was something unsettling about his grin, something that made me feel like he knew a secret I didn't. I quickly looked away, telling myself I was just being paranoid. But as I continued walking, I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. The snow continued to fall throughout the day, casting a magical spell over Ajegunle. But as the sun began to set, I realized that I had to get back to reality. I had work to do, and I couldn't let the snow day distract me. As I trudged back home through the snow, I couldn't help but wonder if the winter wonderland was just a dream. But when I woke up the next morning, the snow was still there, covering everything in a thick layer of white. It took several days for the snow to melt, but when it finally melts, life returns. Horns blare. Street vendors yell. Afrobeat music blares from speakers. Ajegunle returned to its usual rhythm. But none of us would ever forget those 3 days. And as for the kid with the unsettling grin, I never saw him again. But sometimes, when I'm walking through the streets of Ajegunle, I catch a glimpse of him out of the corner of my eye. He's always smiling, always seeming to know a secret that I don't. It's unnerving to say the least. So I decided to check my friend Kunnel at Wilmer Axis in Ajegunle. He asked that we meet at Marikana neighborhood. Scene 8. Strange sightings. Tony's friend Tolu, a beautiful girl who lives at Tolu Axis of Ajegunle, came to visit him. Tony starts seeing the boy everywhere, at the market, near the bus stop, outside his window. The boy is always smiling, always watching. Tolu, you see him too? That boy? Tony, shaken, you see him? Tolu, everywhere. Scene 9. The Revelation. That night, Tony and Tolu follows the boy through the quiet streets near Marikana. The boy stops at the edge of the city, turns and speaks for the first time. Boy, softly, this is only the beginning. Scene 10. The Dark Truth. Tony and Tolu stumbles upon a strange occult gathering. The boy stands at the center, leading the ritual. Snow begins to fall inside the shrine. Tony whispers, "Dear God." Scene 11. The young preacher, Tony and Tolu. Tony and Tolu seeks help from David, a fearless young preacher in his early 20s. David, eyes narrowing, this is no ordinary snow. It's a sign of something dark. Scene 12. Confrontation. David, Tony, and Tolu confront the boy as snow begins to fall again. The boy's eyes glow. Boy, you're too late. David, resolute, God is never late. Scene 13. The Final Battle. David prays as the boy summons a blizzard. The wind howls, but David's faith holds strong. David, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. The snowstorm stops. The boy screams as dark energy dissipates. Scene 14. The sun returns. The snow melts. Life returns. Tony, Tolu, and David walk through the streets of Ajegunle, smiling. Tony, you really think it's over? Tolu, I pray so all. David, eyes twinkling, for now. Fade out. Sometimes, the most unbelievable things happen in the most ordinary places. Credits: Zone HB TV, Zone HB Studio, Mental Picture Works, MPW, Desmond Agbo, Creative Director. +2348026443689. zoneup@gmail.com